Hello world, hi you. Thanks for coming on and watching. If you're seeing this live, yay! If you're seeing a recording of this, cool too. I will be putting this on YouTube and on my website eventually. So thanks for coming and watching me talk about cuddling and being a cuddlist. So my question is, what do you do? I get this often, and quite often a lot as well. I also get the question, how in the world do we do this? How do we cuddle? And especially this is non-sexual touch, non-sexual cuddling. So I'm just gonna talk about this on top of my head, whatever I remember, thoughts, stories, I'll just share them. And I have a few minutes before my next client shows up. So I thought, this is fun last time, I thought I'd do it again. So what do I do? Right, so this is non-sexual touch, and that means that it's an experience for people to come and to be with another human being, to experience touch in a way that's relaxing, nurturing, intimate, vulnerable. But really what I love about, especially the Cuddlist model, is that it's integrating touch and really good communication skills. So you're also learning how to ask for what you want. And that usually is the hardest thing about a session. It's not so much the touch and isn't this all awkward and isn't it weird to touch a stranger and spooning with someone you don't know. Sometimes people think that's the hardest thing, but actually the hardest thing is to know yourself, to know what you want, to ask for it, to negotiate, to figure out if something isn't working, how to find what can work. I let clients know in the beginning. I make a promise that I won't do anything I'm uncomfortable with, and I ask them to make the same promise back to me. Which, they of course, they're like, yeah, of course, I'm not gonna do anything I'm uncomfortable with. They're like, I like everything. I get this kind of yeah, I like all the touch, right? But it's funny because in the moment what happens is I say, we'll get into a position, and I let them know that, that you would surprise yourself. You might get into a position you hate it, and most people just tolerate it. They just stay there well, I said this is what I wanted, and I tell them you can change your mind. That's the fantastic thing about cuddling, and really it's a fantastic thing about life, that you can do something, start something, think you're gonna love something, and then realize, nope, I hated it, and change your mind. At any moment. So I'm trying to model this fantastic practice of, and I let them know that, let's say we spoon and you hate it. After 10 seconds, you're like, nope, this is it, I'm not feeling it. Just let me know. You have that permission. Or we find a position that you love and you want to be there for, an hour. That's great too. As long as we're both comfortable, that's the ideal. So in order to now talk about positions and what's possible, what we can do, and what can be fun, I brought some props. And I brought string cheese. Yay! I was thinking of something that would be bendy, and I thought this might be bendy. So, it can be as simple. I'm going to begin with how the cheese is already kind of created, and then I'll move back to some more simpler positions once I kind of, you'll see what I'm going to do. So it could be as simple as two bodies next to each other, looking up into the ceiling, and talking. Now, in the sessions, talking is welcome, or you can not talk. You can have either, you can be in silence, or you can talk and share your life. So you can just be lying there looking to the ceiling. You could be close, lying, looking to the ceiling, and enjoy that kind of touch, where your arms are touching, your legs, maybe your feet are touching. Then something we can move and transition into where, I haven't thought about how I was going to make a head here. So arm, arm, these are arms, where maybe you might want to rest your head on someone's arms, on someone's chest, and that might happen. This is called come to papa, so that's a position. And then, we know the classic one, which is spooning, right? So side to side and kind of spooned, but, and then this is not gendered, so, you can flip it and switch it to another spooning position. But one of the things that I get asked often is, well, what's your favorite position, right? What do you love? And what I experience with that is I don't have a favorite position, but I definitely have things I enjoy doing in all the positions. And what's really important to me is being able to wrap my arms around someone. Oh, see, making little arms. My legs, like I like to be able to wrap. I like to be able to caress someone's head. I like, this is kind of silly, I realize. I like to be able to put my hand, and this is one of the most intimate positions I've seen, and I'll use my hands for this, is when you lock fingers with someone. Like that is, there's something about that. I don't know what it is, but this is very intimate, to be able to lock your fingers and hold someone's hand, and sometimes you squeeze. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but there is something about that that builds trust. You know, we don't do that with anybody. We shake people's hands, right? But we don't do that. And just even explore with yourself, like with maybe someone you care about, the difference between this and then that. So I tell clients, you know, think about, you have 4 sides to your body. So this is a little more square. You have the sides and you have the front and the back. You can lie on your chest, you can lie face up, you can lie on your sides. You have 2 different sides. You can do all of those. And then imagine what I would be doing. Maybe this is me, I guess. Would you want me on top of you? But, you know, would you want me behind you? Would you want me on, which side would you like me to be on? And then this is all parallel, like parallel experience. You can do crossed, right? You could be, you know, putting your head on my chest. There's so many, again, there's so many things, and it's really limitless using your imagination. This is just like imagining 2 bodies, but then you have arms and you have legs, and I really like when feet touch. That's fun. I like when the heads touch. So it's, yeah, it's fantastic. It's, we're creating this with each other. It's, every person is different and every body is different. So with one body, it might feel really good to do spooning, right? Because all of our entire curve really match well. And with someone else that don't have that kind of curvature, it feels good to do other things. And it really is up to the client what we do. It's what they want and what feels good for them. And then of course the big question, the one I always get, is what if I get aroused? You know, what happens if you know, I have a physical manifestation of arousal, and it's normal. And I think the thing that I don't predict ahead of time, like what those positions, what that will be for each person, I don't know. I have touched someone on their neck and they've gotten aroused, right? So what we do is I'm listening, I'm watching them. It's not just, again, it's not just that physical member that we look after and we look at. We look at how the breathing changes, right? Breathing is really important. I watch to see if that gets accelerated. I watch to see how people use their hands. So if all of these things in combination start to accelerate, like that could be squeezing and getting tight, their breath starts changing, then we know we've gone the wrong direction. So we bring it back. We try to encourage, you know, how can we get into a deeper relaxation? I invite them to think of ways, and sometimes they autocorrect on their own, like, oh, okay, oh, this is happening, and so they think I need to make some adjustments, and that's great. Other times I need to speak up and say, how are you feeling? I'm noticing some changes, what's going on? And if I can figure out like what it is that we did that created that, like started that ball rolling, then we know how to easily correct and we move a different direction. I've had a client recently who, for the most of the session, and I didn't know it at first, but they were doing what they thought I would like. And as we explored it more deeply, they have no idea how to take care of themselves. They have no idea how to ask for what they want, and it took, I mean, it's easy to kind of slide by a whole session and do what you think the person, like they were trying to place me what I would want, and they wanted to be like a good client, and they're fighting it. It wasn't until the end I realized that they have no idea what it would feel like to take care of themselves, to be in their pleasure, to be in what feels good for them. And I don't know if they're going to come back, because this work is difficult. It's difficult not just, just to come and touch a stranger. That has its own like hurdle to jump through, but it's also really difficult if you're the kind of person that's been taking care of people your whole life, and now here's an opportunity for you to be with me and not take care of me. I don't need that. This is your time for you to find out what feels good for you, and that can be hard to be able to verbalize if you've never ever done that. So this is just a beginner here, just to give you an idea of kind of what happens, positions, the fun things that we can do. I also like to throw out there that it's not just like two bodies cuddling and touching and talking. I invite also people to bring books if you want. You could read out loud, I could read with you, but imagine that kind of connection of being together and we're like reading together, or imagine singing together, we could dance. Cuddling doesn't just mean lying and spooning. It can mean so many other things, activities we can do together. We can watch a show. You know, tonight's the election. I doubt my next client wants to watch not the election, but the debates, election debates. I doubt that they will want to watch the election debates, but like, let's say someone's like, hey, can we like cuddle and like watch this thing? I'm like, great, that's fantastic. Like, so it doesn't have to get boring. There's so many things we can do in a session to make it like spontaneous and exciting and fun. And I've also, you know, been with someone where I've cried and they've cried, and so this is also a way to release emotions. It could be a joyful and happy and, you know, entertaining time, and it can be deeply therapeutic in that it's working through your emotions and feelings and stories, and I'm there listening. I think that's probably everything I can think of for now. So thanks for watching, and blessings to all of you. If you're interested in a session, you can go to bit.ly, so my bit.ly, I did the shortened version of my website, so bit .ly/Cuddlist all of it in lowercase, Cuddlist, and you can get to my profile page on Cuddlist, or more simply, it would be www.cuddlist.com /Janet Trevino. So anyway, thanks for watching, and talk to y'all later. Bye.